All right. Good morning. Sorry I'm a little bit late. I was having internet issues this morning. So sorry about that. Oh boy. So I don't know if anybody's in here or not today. Yep. Um, Again, sorry I'm running a little bit late. Hey Lee. Hey Chris. How's it going? Got me some more people, some more China people to get those. I got my this other passenger car. Got it painted up. It's a coach. So I just have to add in some figures, but I needed to buy some more. So it came pretty quick. I was surprised. Let's see, Real Artist, how are you? Rick, how are you? Kyle, good morning. So yeah, man, sorry I missed last week. I was just sick as a dog, man. It's crazy. It was not the showstopper. My doctor and I were both pretty sure it was, but tested negative twice last week for it. Had all the symptoms, or at least a lot of the symptoms. So I mean, I'm glad it wasn't, but I've never had a flu like that before, man. It just knocked me on my butt. Still tired. Back to work this week though. I was out all week last week. Let's see, M&M Short Lines. Marty, how's it going? The Brimming Rail Enthusiast. Anything okay there? Hey, how's it going? Yeah, man, we just talking about the show here. We just basically talk about whatever, man. You know, try to keep it train related as best as we can. But, you know, we tend to get off topic once in a while. Just sit around drinking coffee and tea or whatever you drink, and we will just chat. Can everybody hear me okay? No, I don't. I really don't. There you go. I don't. But like I said, doctor still thinks it was. It just like it was definitely some type of viral flu. Unfortunately, they never tested me for the flu, which is weird. But he thinks it was probably false negative both times. But I know that's why he had me do the second test. And again, I'm glad it wasn't. For sure. Unfortunately, the way it works at my job, it's like they will pay for you to be out. Like once you think you have it, you have to call this hotline, and then they decide if they want you to go get tested based on the symptoms you're telling them. So they wanted me to get tested, and you can't come back until you get a negative test or whatever. So I got that back right away. Well, the next day. Hi, Artie. I'm still recovering from it now. So thankfully, I didn't get any breathing issues or anything. I just super bad headache, really tired, fever, chills, aches. You know, some nausea, some diarrhea, stuff like that. But hey, Darren. But I was just exhausted. I couldn't stay awake more. It felt like I couldn't stay awake more than about 5 minutes. And I'm allergic to like NSAIDs. I couldn't take you know, like Motrin and stuff like that. So it was strictly Tylenol, which would help with the fever. But I felt like Yeah, I was taking it way too much. My doctor made me stop taking it. But I was taking it like every 4 hours, and even at that, by the time would take it again, I was already back into having chills and stuff. And I mean, chills to the point where I was like just like violently shaking, couldn't get warm. Wow, man, you're still on oxygen. That sucks. When did you get it? How long have you had it? Or how long ago did you have it? I don't know. I guess I'm asking is, were you basically over the initial part of it and this is just after effect, or are you still in the middle of it? So it's not fun. Well, that's good, Chris. I mean, hopefully you don't, especially with all the other things you have going on. You're definitely a higher risk. And I wouldn't want to wish it on anybody. I mean, some of it I think is overblown. Yeah, I don't know, man. Darren, I don't know what the heck show this is. Sometimes it just gets taken over. Some of it I think is a little bit overblown, politicized, so on and so forth. Hey, Pappy. Yeah, good to see you in there, man. Anthony, good morning, sir. How are you today? We had a nice challenge answer the other day. Was the challenge? I don't know what it was. Oh, you did a unit training. I don't know if it was Nancy's answer to Nancy's challenge. So one thing I did do was I did get to watch a decent amount of YouTube last week. I felt bad because for the first time in the 2 years I've been on Track Tuesday, we were going to all be on. I was supposed to host it, and then I texted with Wilmer and asked him if he could host it or one of the other guys just because I was so sick, but I was still hoping to get in to the show, and I couldn't stay awake. So I was not able to. King Fox Junction. Hello, good morning. Quick, got my coffee. Yep, there was Nancy's. So that was a unit, I believe it was like a wood chip lumber type train. It was pretty cool. I love your layout, man. You got some cool stuff going on there. And I believe it's based in Georgia. So you have like the huge lumber industry down there. And what is that? What is it, Carolyn? You have that big, probably pronouncing it on that big factory you're building. Was it Carolyn? What is that exactly? Just to carry yourself covers definitely without that many around that haven't gotten it. Yeah, I mean, again, like I said, with that, it is definitely real, definitely serious if you get it, especially if you get it hard. You know, some people will get it like I still think I had it. I think I had it before too, but just mild. Um, and as you said, it just depends. Everybody's different. And it depends on your other comorbidities and just your immune system and different things like that. Kale, product used in paper, makeup, etc. So what is it exactly? Is it a liquid? Is it like a oil-based type stuff, or has Nancy deleted her channel? Nancy did delete her one channel, the Spirit of Colorado, something, N scale. Something happened with YouTube, and I don't know. I did a little like a public service announcement on my channel back a little bit ago. I think I've heard King Fox Junction. I think I had heard that she is basically just keeping a channel so she can, you know, keep in touch and post and stuff like that, and with other channels. I don't know. I think she's fed up with YouTube and not really Um, oh my God, I can't think this one. I don't think she's worried about getting it all bill picked up because she had well over 1,000 subscribers and she was able to go live from her phone and all that kind of stuff. And she would jump in on a lot of like live streams and that. Yeah, see, Kyle. I had a slight cough like later in the week, but it was just a little bit of an annoying like dry spot, kind of like I wasn't hacking up a lung or anything. So I mean, and thankfully, believe me, I'm not looking to get this. The only thing I started to say is that with my job, if it would have been, I would have been I would have been out, of course, out of work either way. With the flu, I was out too because I just couldn't do it. But it would have been paid for in full. Or with this, I had to, sick and all, I had to go back and forth to the doctors, drop off like FMLA paperwork. I just turned that all in yesterday. Still waiting to hear back if that's approved. Otherwise, I got like 3 strikes against me on the call offs, which puts me in like a bad spot. And however, if they approve that, then those strikes go away. So, and it's like if it's COVID, um, that all gets wiped out as well. But it's all paid. For me to get paid, I have to use my own paid time off and everything like that. So it's kind of a little bit of a sticky subject with me. I'm not crazy about the way they do it. But anyways, that's enough of that. I just thank you for all your concern. You guys reached out to me. Um, Years old. Yeah, I'm 50 years old. 20% actually now after 3 weeks in ICU. Yeah, I mean, Marty, it's not good, man. I think, unfortunately, it's not saying it really is overblown, but it's kind of the fact that it's become politicized. Maybe that's the way I want to read it. It's becoming politicized. It's like I don't know. It's not going away, so we're just gonna have to deal with it. That's all there is to it. Anyways, back to trains. Thank you for everybody who reached out. Thank you for everybody that had kind words to say. I do appreciate the concern, and it's just a great community that we are a part of. You guys have never even met each other and only know each other through this stuff here, and it was touching. I think I cried a little. Not really. Let's see, George's son about Anthony. It says it's a mineral that's pit mined. The slurry shipped in tank cars are used in makeup products, glass, powder is used in paper. Huh. So is it like a binding agent or something? Uh, or does it break down like the pulp and stuff like the wood chips used in paper and that is something that kind of like a chemical that breaks it down to make it softer to be able to mold into paper and stuff? I don't know, I'm trying to learn because I missed something important. I don't know what you missed. I was sick last week. If you missed that, yeah. Yeah. Nancy and the Spirit of Colorado Railroad, second try. There you go. There's a channel, King Fox. Where was he at? Hey, Wilmer's in the house. Hey, good morning, Wilmer. Sorry about Tuesday, man. Okay, King Fox Junction, yeah. So she'd have to explain it a little bit better. I know YouTube was giving her all kinds of grief. And I don't think they deleted her. I think she finally deleted the channel. I don't know. I don't know the whole story. I just know that it stinks. We got Joe Raider. Good morning. It's Thursday, buddy. I'll have to call you and remind you. That's why you got to choke on the coffee, too. Elmer, Trigoblin, Marty. All right, man. I got a good little following this morning. Cool. Good to see everybody. But probably more like over the weekend, I felt well enough, I was able to do a little bit of work down here on the layout. So I actually got a decent amount done. Trying to bring the main line around. I got my co-op sort of in place, roughly where it's going to go. Made a few changes to the plan. Nothing crazy. Moved a few industries around from top to bottom. Stuff like that. What's my latest project? Well, I can try to take you guys over there. I've been working. Let's see. Hard part is I'm going to carry this with me and not drop it. All right, so try to see both there. So I got the second line coming through the bridge now, passing line. Actually, not really a passing line. It's more like a lead into the where I'm going to put the co-op now. So that's a change that was made. The CSX yard, the main yard, is going to go top here instead of down there. So over here I have to build up a little bit of a, I'm going to build it out a little bit. I'm going to put a boat dock in there. But so yeah, I got that line in through here. Sorry about the light, forgot to turn it off. Put in a little double crossover, not a double crossover, but a crossover there. So the main line's in the back. So it's terrible lighting. And then this is the line here, which will allow me to come back into the main line down here. Just a little bit of a passing center for like a local to come in, pick up some cars. I'm gonna have like 3 tracks coming back down to that area there where those cars are, just for storage for the grain elevators. And the main line I have running around the corner now to that point there. Part of the wall in. Put a couple of corner pieces in there. That's it. I got the tortoises are in. I don't have them wired up yet. So I'm just kind of going along as I put in turnouts. I'm doing tortoises. I'm doing some blocks. I think right there is going to be a block. We have to wire things up still. So that's what I've been up to. There's a look down my filthy peninsula, and I was covered in track and everything else. But so I got the wall up to that point. I got to come out a little further and then off this way. But so that's what I've been up to. And like I said, I got a decent amount of that done over the weekend. That was the thing that kind of, I hate to say it, I hate being sick. I know nobody likes being sick. That's a silly statement. But it's such a waste of time. I don't know how else to explain it. It's just wasted time that you don't feel good. You don't want to do anything. And again, it's a waste of time. And let's see, is that? I guess it's good enough. So yeah, so that's what I've been doing. Hey, James. Darren's back. Good progress. Thanks, Joe. I talk to Darren a lot. I know he has roughly the same goal that hopefully by like December, he wants to have his main line in and up. which he's getting there. He's getting there too. Hopefully he'll be doing an update at some point here. Hey, Rainbow Bell, how are you? Good morning. So yeah, I'm hoping by December I can at least maybe have my main line all the way in and around. Hopefully sooner than that. I'd like to be able to run a loop of trains, at least on the first level. Eyes itching. However, who knows? Like I said, it was such a waste of time. I hate being sick. Daughter must be off work. There's some good news there. She works for the same hospital system I do. She's a nurse as well. And thought I'd pop in for a bit before work starts. Well, I'm glad to have you, Ray. Thanks for stopping in. If I'd known you were coming in, I took your cup off the wall. Yeah. Just because. How about that, Ray? How about that? I got the old Rainbow Bell. I follow Rainbow Bell on YouTube. Bowville in Newtown. There you go, man. Got you in the collection. Had your train freak out today. Train freak Jason helped me out a lot. Oh yeah, that's bring Artie up. Hey, Artie. I think I'm going to stick with 3. Bring people in and out if others want to come in. And just once you get more than about 3, I feel like I get a lot of feedback.
There's our echo. Hey.
All right, let me see if I can change the layout of this thing. Is that better?
There we go.
Yeah, that's better.
That's better.
Test your tortoises. Yes, Peppy, I did test my tortoises. Like I said, I have to get some toggles. I've been going back and forth with guys. I want to figure out exactly what I want to do there. Oh, sorry, Anthony. So you sit on the porch, it's raining so hard and loud you can barely hear me. Well, I don't talk very loud, you know that.
And we had the rain the other day.
We got a little bit yesterday, but not that much.
We had a downpour the night before. It lasted all night. I mean, major thunderstorms.
Ryan, what's that?
So you're going to install tortoises, Dave? Good, Artie. How are you? You still up? You're on live last night. Well, of course, it was nighttime for me, but it was morning for you.
Yeah, it's only 10 o'clock. It's only coming up to 10 o'clock here, so the night's still young.
Oh.
Night's still young, yeah.
It's 8 o'clock a.m. here. Almost.
Yeah.
So, Dave, you're going to install tortoises?
Yeah, I had a bunch already, so I'm going to use what I have for sure. I'm a firm believer. I'm not going to, buy stuff I don't need, I am still going to look at maybe doing those Walters ones for the climb because of the way they hang down. That's a lower profile. I did see, I don't know if I can find them or not. I did see somebody did, I don't know if I can find it or not on my phone. Model railroad control systems. I don't know where they're out of, but I saw a guy who had these on his layout, and they're really low profile. Let's see if we can bring them up on this phone so I can tell you. MP1 version 2 switch motor, and they look pretty cool. And they're really thin profile. Here not a whole lot thicker than that. Maybe double the thickness of that tray there.
Okay.
Which would be great for those areas that hang down on that climb. Because I've been thinking more and more about it. It's like, how am I going to hide that thing? So I'm thinking either Velcro, like just doing a strip of, like underneath. I'll do a backdrop, like on the wall itself. But then I have the shelf that sticks out. So I'm thinking about on that lip, maybe bring a couple blocks down from the top, and then on the lip, take the backer board as well, and either just paint a sky on it or something, or just paint it blue or something, and then have it where I can either take magnets and magnet it up or Velcro. So if I have a derailment on the climb, I can remove them strips and get at it. Something like that, and just.
Well, I go
because I don't know how else I'm going to hide that climb. Really, I have no idea how to hide it. And if there's no train there, you can kind of look past it, I guess. But if there's a train sitting up there, like I have one sitting there now, it just looks weird.
Yeah.
You're looking at my grain elevator with a stack train behind it up in the air. So it's kind of weird, but I'm thinking if I could do something like that where I would have to, have the backdrop straight at the top and then angle the bottom, or I could drop it some maybe. I don't know. But kind of have it blend in. Like if you see the top, it'd be like a sky, and then underneath would be whatever scene it's going to be.
Yeah.
We'll see. Because I have the main line sort of running underneath it.
Well, I installed 7 switches.
You can always work on. There's a system I'm working on.
Yeah.
I'm working on a sliding system at the moment with my window, which is on my left here. I'm using, I think it is 3mm plywood. But you know how you got the you got these plates so I can actually slide the plywood up and down or open up the window.
Yeah.
That's on my side here. So I can actually let some air in, because during the summertime it will get very hot, right? And I can actually access the window. Maybe you can work out something like that as well. Have certain portions fixed, the other portion that you can actually slide up and down. I should be doing some of it probably in the next couple of weeks once I sort out my wiring here, because I've got to prepare for the next level. So you most probably have to see what I'm doing.
Hi, Jason.
I can't think what they call it over there.
Hi, Jason. Hi, Wilmer.
They use it on with. Hello.
Okay.
Hello, Artie. Hello, James.
Hey, Lee. Now,
hello, Dave.
Artie, do you have air conditioning in that room or no?
Yeah. Yeah,
I do have air conditioning. You don't always need to run it.
Our summertimes get pretty hot here.
Yeah.
We had a hot summer.
Sometimes it's just nice to have the windows open. It's the only downside of being in the basement is I only have a couple of little vent windows that I can open.
Today we've been close to about
I'm already freezing up on us over there. What?
No, Dave, I got 7 switch machines installed now.
Oh yeah. Now you're using all the Walthers ones, right?
Yeah. Well.
Yes, I am. Now
I saw you did a video. You got those figured out.
Like today.
I'm saying 90% figure out. There's still some details.
About 89, 90 today.
That you'd want to know about.
Yeah. Hey, Artie, you're breaking up on me, man. I'm going to bring you back out.
It's not too bad. We've had dry heat.
Yeah, he's breaking up.
All right, I'm gonna bring you out because you're just breaking up. We can't hear much of what you're saying, so I'm gonna just send you back out. Maybe check your connection. We'll bring you back up.
Yeah. The only thing I found is not knowing, you learn as you go, is the throw bar on the switch machine is directional. So when I hooked up my crossovers, one crossover was going straight, but the other one was going from straight to a diversion. So I had mechanically move the switch around to make it function.
Oh, okay.
But the other issue I have is the LEDs. They have green and amber. Normally, you would have the green for the straight and the amber for divergent. But on one button or two of them, I can't seem to make it change the color without going into the switch to make some modifications. So, and that's a big job because they're in a tight location.
Well, Anthony, thanks for stopping in, buddy. Enjoy your day. Yeah.
But they're working okay. I'm working on fascia now on the inside, so I can start mounting control panels for the switches.
Are you actually going to make like a central control panel, or are you just going to mount them on the fascia where they are on the layout?
I'm actually going to mount 3 stations.
3 of them, okay.
So I have 3 spots I'm going to put them in, and eventually I'll have enough space to add switches for lighting, that kind of stuff in the same station. I built them in the garage. Recycled some wood and milled them up. I have fascia on the back side. Yeah, I'm making some progress there. Of course, where I'm short some track, like curb turnout from Walters. They're on the boat.
They're on the boat.
Yeah.
Train Freak Jason says he has trees on the way and floodlights for Riceland. Nice.
Oh, good.
Nice.
Where are you getting the trees from, Jay? What's his name out there? Bob? Rick. See Wilmer. Artie was breaking up so bad. Yeah.
He was fine. Well, yesterday morning for him. He was doing okay last night. But other than that, we're making a decent step. The only problem I found was...
And that one I had made up for the morning brew. Jason was just saying you like the coffee mug.
Yeah.
Quite shiny on these silos. Yeah. I don't know if anybody has seen Train Freak's Riceland silos on his layout.
Yeah, I've seen that video. I've recently just catched it up. It looks good.
Yeah, so... Yeah, it's sharp the way he did that. It's kind of what I was going for, but he really did it really nice. The way it's painted blue like that with white lettering.
Yeah.
Looks sharp. Looks really sharp.
He's done it very sharp, I must admit, there, Dave.
Scenic Express, though Midwest Monorail, Yankee Dabbler doesn't carry them. Okay.
I'm scratch building fences at the moment for around my track.
Yeah. I'll be doing that at some point down the line here. So, I can't wait to get to that point. That's another reason I want to get this main line in and stuff, so I can actually start laying things out. And
yeah.
I just
the fun stuff.
I like doing that stuff a lot more than this, but I need to get some. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to go with toggles or what.
For what?
If I want to hook into JMRI, according to what I was talking with the Train Freak, NCE, I'd have to get some kind of button board and some other stuff like that. A bunch of different things I'd have to buy. So I think toggles are pretty cheap. I might just go that route for now. I'd like to figure out how to hook LEDs into them, red and green, like a bi-colored one.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to make like a control panel or like a few control panels around, like where I have an industry, I'll have a small control panel for that yard or whatever, just to mount the toggles on. I can't figure out the LEDs. Go ahead.
I'm only using the switch machines on the main line and the yard. The rest of the industrial steel mill will be all ground throw switches.
Yeah.
But
I am.
Go ahead.
I am going to, as I put switches in, turnouts in, I'm going to drill the holes and have them ready for tortoises if I decide to go that way. But like you, I'm probably going to have, unless I can't reach a switch in a yard for some reason, I'm probably just going to do ground throws, or not even ground throws. I'm just going to use, I use Pico, so just a little click overs.
Yeah, that's right.
Anything that's like Atlas or something, I have a few Atlas curve switches I'll have to do tortoises or something on because they won't stay in place. LEDs hooked to the tortoise. So what is it? This hooks right to the machine. One of the leads on the machine. I'll have to get the instructions out and see if I can figure out which ones. And Joe Rader says, "Don't rush the track, Dave." Yeah, no, I'm not, Joe. I know.
That's one thing I regret doing on Anfield Road, the loft layout. I rushed the track, and
yeah,
I've got to redo it all. Anfield Road, it's too hot still up in the loft. It's still too hot to try and get up there. I went up there to go and get some stuff in the loft.
Use these babies here for your track.
Yeah, I've used them for the curves. Mine are all 28s, so I've been doing them on that. I don't have room for much more than a 28-inch to get everything in the way I wanted to, and I'm fine with 28s.
I went 26 and a quarter and 24 in my inner industrial.
Good morning, Chris.
20. Hey, good morning, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
So this is
what I'm going to be using. Mate?
I've spelled Chris wrong.
Yeah, what is that?
Anyway,
it's with a K.
The camera. Yeah, you can actually slide your plywood up into here. It's usually used for fibro.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
It comes in big strips, and you can cut it to your size.
Yeah, because that's wide enough it'll fit that back.
And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to have the plywood that's going to sit in here.
Yeah.
And slide up and down.
What's that for, Artie?
So you can do that too as an access. Okay, you're gonna have that little bubble there. We were talking about hiding the track with Dave's lad how he's got the brake, and I want to close up my window with plywood, but still want to be able to open it. So I'm going to use this with the plywood, and all I've got to do is just slide it in and out of the slot.
Okay, yeah.
That's how I worked it up. We actually use the same system at a club in Sydney.
Yeah, because I could even put this horizontal and use that to fit that in. I'll figure something out. I'll find something ingenious.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because at least in some areas, I want to really hide that.
It doesn't drop out.
That's the only downside about doing a climb around the room instead of a.
Actually, this is the wrong measurement, but you can actually slide it in like this.
The only, Dave, if you use the tortoise the horizontal mounts on the incline, the only problem you're going to face is if you ever have to adjust the turnout, the access to the turnout is on the top side of the turnout, and you can't get at it. You have to make sure it's all preset before it's installed. That's the only disadvantage to the Walters in a horizontal installation.
Yeah.
But they work really well.
I know, I've just seen that. He snuck back in, Annie.
They work well, for sure. But my biggest issue I had was
Rick.
They give you a small, tiny drill to guide them to drilling the holes. When you're going through cork and foam, then plywood, that small little drill likes to walk on the plywood going through, and it tends to shift off a 16th of an inch, so it is not as accurate as you wish it would. I made a template to help drilling it, so it does make it easier, but there's every installation has its own issues you got to deal with.
So when I do my control panel, which I'm going to be doing slowly, I've got these spring-loaded toggle switches. Right. Neutral's off.
Jason, so do I.
So is that just on?
That looks like a little toggle switch, is it, Artie?
Yeah, it's a spring-loaded one. So what I can do is I can actually push it down for one direction, and it springs back in the neutral.
Yeah.
And then when I go up, it'll just throw the other way. Yeah. And the power's not on a continuous. Because I'm going through my switch 8, when I activate it, it's just going to throw the point motor right over. It's just an activation, really. That's all it is. And with my LEDs, I've got 2 lots of LEDs. Let me find them.
Yeah, really, Pappy, you want to bring that home? So I've been drilling my holes according to the tortoise thing. It says to drill them about, I think it's a 1/4 inch. Seems to be working. So far, they're all working fine.
Well, Walters is they use a half. They say 3/8. I went almost 5/8 of an inch.
Yeah.
And a file. It solved all the problem, and I also made an adjustment slot so I can position the switch correctly too. And I got rid of the Chinese screws too, and went to a Canadian Robertson screw.
So what are those exactly? Because I'm looking to get some LEDs, and I need to get what exactly to buy.
Okay, now this LED here, right? You've got your cathode that's in the middle, or your negative, and then you've got your power on either side, right? Okay. One side shows you the red, the other side shows you the green. And it's a simple process of wiring up. Or you can go to this one here, right? This one here is.
Come on, Jesse, real fan.
Oh, this is a dual color.
Good morning, Jesse.
Right, if you switch the polarities on, it will give you a red, and switch another polarity, it will actually give you green, which you can actually which you can actually mount it where you got the switching diagram on your panel. You can have it you can put it in there, and then actually can say, right, okay, it's thrown on that track, or it's not thrown. You know, whether it's lines clear or not.
Yeah.
And they're not hard to wire up.
So what are those actually called then? Like what size and everything is that?
Okay, this one here these are 3mm.
3mm.
It's a bi-color LED. This one's a diffused one, but you can get them in clear as well. Okay. That's a bi-color one.
Because I think about just doing like, hey John, doing just toggles and wiring the LEDs in line, you know, with the tortoise.
Yeah.
And then just doing a control panel where I'd have an LED for red and green or whatever.
Yeah. Well, that's what you like. That LED. That you got your 2 colors in the one, so you don't have to drill so many holes with totally different ones. Now,
I was thinking if I couldn't figure out how to do the LEDs, I was just going to figure, okay, all my straights are going to be like up, and then the divergent route I would have down. You know, just I don't know, something like that, just to distinguish until I get all that in there right.
yeah. Well, I should be doing my panel.
See, I want to figure all this stuff out, and there's just so much, man. It's all running around in my head, and I'm just trying to figure out, okay, what the heck
I've got
do
the
I
two
buy?
different. Now, apparently this one here is a tricolour because it's also got orange, but I forgot to ask them how to get the orange out of this one here. This one's actually tricolour. It's not bicolour, it's tri. Then I've got another ones here. Actually, it's in another drawer. It's actually got 3 colours in it as well, where I've got red, green and blue in it.
Yeah.
Once I
saw
sort out
the red.
Pardon?
I just need the bicolor, you know, I just want the red and the green.
Yeah, well, that's got red and green, and you got your here. Where's my LED tester? I cleaned up, didn't I?
That's the worst thing to do, Art. You clean up, you can't find anything.
It's here somewhere, I know that. Hang on, let me dig for it.
No, I'm losing my mind over here because I still got so much stuff in boxes, and until I get things settled with my workbench, I can't really set anything up. So every time I want to do something, I have to hunt for stuff every time, and it drives me nuts. What the heck was I looking for the other day?
I was looking for this. I was looking for this all week. This went for me.
I was looking for my crimping tool for my RJ12 cables. Because I was having to make some cables. Because I'm running my
ATP like this
cables
one?
around.
Does it look like this one?
That's what I thought it looked like. But I remembered I bought one that's like, almost looks like a switchblade. It's like just small, like about the size of your hand, like, you know. It's over there somewhere. I don't feel like in it. But in my mind, I was thinking it was something like what Artie just showed, and I couldn't find it. I'm looking everywhere for this thing, and finally, I found it. I'm like, oh, you're such a moron. Because I forgot what it looked like. In my mind, it was that, you know, the big red handle and like a regular pair of pliers looking thing, you know. And here it's just short. But anyway, I found it. But I swear I spent a whole day looking for that thing. By the time I found it, it was just too late, and I was just aggravated. I didn't feel like messing with it.
What I do, Dave, every so often I tidy up and I keep a bin on the bench for the layout for tools. Everything in that box.
Yeah.
And I just tidy up a bit, put everything away, get reorganized, and start the next step. Because I have to unpack.
Morning, Crazy Joe, 67. How are you?
Hello, Crazy Joe. So I
Hello, Crazy
get
Joe.
ready for the next switch.
Is it closed for straight? I think, yeah, I kind of think it would be. I mean, I know it makes more sense saying open is green, closed is red, but kind of get where you're coming from, what you're thinking there. I mean, the points are closed, meaning that would be on the straight, and if it was open, they'd be off to the divergent route.
Well,
but I guess you could look at it either way. I don't know.
You would think green be straight and amber is green is straight, amber is diversion. But
yeah.
Well, that you can go that way if you want to get that sophisticated. You can.
But I can't change the color without going into the circuit board.
Yeah. No, but you know what it is though. You know the green is going to be one way and amber's the other way. It doesn't really matter what colors it is as long as you know what colors are what. You know.
I'm gonna make a little.
But if I have to buy them, Pappy.
I'm gonna make a
green means go is all I know.
Green means go.
Well, I'll get.
Yeah, green means go and red means stop.
Yeah.
And it's my railroad, so my railroad rules.
Yes, that's right. It's my railroad, and it's your rules.
I'm just gonna
use a simple method.
I'm gonna make a drawing template, Dave.
Yeah.
I'll put a drawing showing which button light is straight and what light is diversion.
Yeah.
And I'll put my two crossovers side by side, and then the rest are just round. I only have 2 crossovers.
Yeah.
On my main line, and that's it.
Well, it's good. It keeps it simple.
That's right.
I've always kind of thought it was cool when guys would take and they would draw the layout on like some type of a template, a board. You know, have like the lines out there drawn and the switches. And I just always thought that was neat. And I always wanted to do that. So, I mean, as much as I want to get into JMRI and all that stuff, I don't know when it'll happen. I'm kind of trying to, as I go, set things up to make it easier for myself later. But I don't know if it's smarter to just do these things now, as I'm going to be wiring up things, or to
I'm
wait.
not going to use JMI, and I'm not going to power the frogs.
Well, I wasn't planning on powering the frogs, but
I'm not doing it.
So here you go, right? So that's thread here.
Yeah, what do you got that in? Is that a breadboard?
That's the LED. That's the LED I'm telling you about. No, this is an LED. That's an LED tester.
Oh, a tester. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and it's got your resistance, what resistance you have for your brightness.
Yeah.
Not too bad. It's only about $8 from JCar.
Oh, hey, there's a question too.
Pardon?
Do you need to run resistors with these LEDs if you're running off a DC?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
But so I switched the polarity around.
Oh, okay.
And I've got green. Okay, that's with the 3 legs. Okay. Q1. I buy in packs of 20. Yeah, I'll buy in packs of 20. Works out cheaper.
Yeah, usually it is cheaper to buy in bulk in the long run.
Yeah,
it does.
And this is the same. If I put it in one way, it's red. As you can see there, it's red.
Is it
if I
two
switch it
prongs?
around, if I turn around the other way, come on.
Now, is that one 2 prongs?
Goes green. Yeah, and that's only 2 prongs.
Okay.
You just
it's hard to see in a little box here because everybody's all small in the box.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just got to reverse the polarities.
That seems a little simpler than the 3 prong.
Yeah, so what I'm doing is I'm going to use the red and green. Green's going to be for the track that it's been switched on, and the red's going to be the side that's going to be closed, so to speak. Like it, you can't go through. So just a basic of red and green signaling.
And we also have the stream stop. Anthony said the stream stopped here. I don't know.
I'll stop here.
Okay.
Seems you're working here.
Seems to be working here as well.
Maybe they're telling you should be going to that meeting that they canceled, Anthony.
Yeah, probably is, Anthony.
What's the meeting?
Yeah. Whatever, you're retired. You're a retired guy.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that terrible?
Someday I'll get there.
But the only problem is...
I'm not wishing it away, though, man.
Living on Canada pension ain't very much, though.
I've been home since 1st of May. Okay, I'm working on my layout here. But honestly, I'm bored.
Yeah. See, all my switches are Insel frogs, Pico Insel frogs.
Yeah,
I don't know about these Atlas ones though.
I wouldn't use an Atlas turnout switch at all. But I'm using the.
Well, I needed some of the curved ones because of the radius and stuff, so I didn't have much choice.
The Walters, that they come out, they're well made.
Well, I know they took over that Shinohara.
I'm waiting for. thing that I found with the Pico tracks, Darren, I'll show you.
See that, Dave? Can you see that?
Where the frog is.
Barely. Go ahead. What's that, Artie?
So the only thing I found with, see where the frog is here, on the top here, where you've got the metal bit and coming in the black bit, right?
Yeah.
The only thing I find is on the edge of there, when you've got the real wide wheels, they can tend to short out in this section here.
Yeah.
Where my fingernail is. So what I do is I get some clear nail polish.
Okay.
Right?
I've heard of that.
And and all I do is where that tip is there, I just extend it a little bit with a bit of nail polish, and that prevents you short.
Yep.
Now
does that last? Do you have to ever reapply that, or does it last pretty long?
It lasts pretty long.
It does. I've done it on mine. I've got it on one of my switches where they had problems with, and it doesn't cause me nothing but problems now. I mean, it doesn't stop me problem, but it has done now. Get it right, Lee.
Depends on what you use to clean the track with. Like maybe once in a while, but if you have a train that goes across it and it's shorting out on that switch, you know it's time to reapply it again, so to speak. Now, under the switch...
Bring Jason up there, maybe.
On the bottom of the Pico track, I do this. I jump it with phosphorus wire. If you can see it there. Right? So what that does is actually livens both.
Hey, Jason.
Hey, Jason.
Hey, Jason.
Morning.
It livens that track to that polarity and livens that track to that polarity. And then I drop this wire down and join it onto my bus.
Yeah.
Right? So it makes it easier. Now, I've been doing my BD20s, and now what I've done in one area, I've actually hooked this switch on the straight bit into the BD20. So I actually say, right, that bit of track and this switch is in that one section.
Yeah.
Right. I'm actually underneath it, but it makes it a lot easier. Plus, I'm always going to have power in that switch, regardless of what I do, because that's connected into the bus wire. I'm always going to have power. So it's almost foolproof, almost. That's how I do my switches.
That's how I do mine. I put power constantly to mine, and it's a lot better.
Yeah.
So I've not had any trouble really with that stuff. Maybe it's because I run a lot of steel train stuff that has the capacitors and stuff in it already, and I don't know. Although some of the Atlas stuff, not Atlas, Athearn, I've had to keep alive in.
So this is an Atlas.
Yeah.
And if you get the Mark IVs, the frog is solid metal. They've got these two little holes on each side.
Yeah.
And what I do is I will take these, or brass screws. Let's see if I can hold this up to where you can get the measurements. And I will screw one of those into the bottom side of the frog. And then I'll solder a wire to it, and then that's my frog juicing lead. Now, the only thing that I do different that Artie does is I don't wire the two rails or wires to the two rails. I actually run my track bus, and I pull a pair of wires off the track bus and wire straight to the tortoise for the spots. Let's see if I can find one.
But, Jason, when the new Walter switch turnouts, they have a lead already installed. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Jason, you're using live frog though, aren't you?
Do what?
You're using a live frog though. electric frog.
Yes.
Yours is not an insulated pot. Yeah, so that's the difference. This one here is not.
So the insulated frog ones that I have, and I don't really know how I'm going to battle these yet, but like the Shinohara double crossover I have here, it's Insul frog.
Yeah.
And then I've got a couple of Pico turnouts that are Insul frog too.
Well, so this is the Pico insulated frog. This is what I was told by my NCE guide, the best way to do the wiring for it. So you don't have power failure through the switching.
Right.
But that the Pico Instafrog is being discontinued, and they're converting to the Unifrog.
Yeah, but there's certain turnouts that I've got that they're not doing that to.
They're doing.
So what's the difference with the Unifrog then? What is that? Is it?
You have provision for powered frog or non-powered frog. They put a wire to the turnout.
Oh. Well, that's good news. Maybe I can get the Insul frogs cheaper. If they're discontinuing.
Well, that's number 6 is for sure.
Is that what code is that, James? Is that the code 83 or the code 100?
Code 83.
Well, they're probably doing the code 83, but I know we just had a whole heap of big shipments of code 100s, and it's still the same as this.
My model shop's got the code one, what you've just said, Artie, and that's not discontinued. He's getting it in constantly.
Here we go.
Yeah.
These are the ones I was trying to find. So, like, my 3-way?
Yeah.
It's Insul frog.
I got one of those on the way. Thanks to you, Jay. Buddy.
Same thing with my double slip.
Got those too.
I've got 3 of the double slips and one of the 3-ways, yeah.
And then this is a single slip.
Yeah.
I got one of those too. But those are
with those ones you don't need a jumper. With the code 100 ones of Pico, they recommend you to jump it.
Let's see if I can get it in camera. I got to go this way. Here we go. So they were all the rails up already.
Yeah. With the double slips, they're pretty easy because they're already wired up. You don't have any failure. But with these ones, with your standard switches,
they did the same on the 3-way.
Yeah. Basically, I've fed jumpers on my 3-way as well because they can lose power. The common problem with the Picos, right? They lose their continuity on the blades.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why they recommend us to put the phosphorus wire on the end here and drop it through. That way, you're constantly going to have power going through, regardless whether you got a bad contact on this end here or not. If you understand what I mean.
I just get nervous wiring into a turnout, man. And I'm messing it up.
If you're going through the DC system, when it gets thrown like this, the power is going continuous for this track on here, but this one here, the power gets cut off. If you switched it up the other way around, it worked the other way around. This side's got power and this one hasn't. So it was actually used as a on and off switch for your tracks.
Yeah, Jason, I'm using the same stuff too. Walters, Pico, and Atlas.
Yeah, it just depends on what turnout it is. Depends on the manufacturer I'm going through. Because like the double crossover, Pico and Atlas doesn't offer that.
No.
Now Pico does offer a curved turnout, but the radiuses are it's huge. I actually converted it because they put it in millimeters, but it's like 30 inches on the inside leg and 60-inch radius on the outside leg. And I'm like, that's just a little too big for what I'm doing, but I guess that's okay for like maybe a gradual turn, but it's not really a good spot to put a curved turnout in the middle of a curve.
Now, I needed a I used a Pico number 7 curve turnout, but it's not a very steep curve, but it worked perfectly where I needed it. But the other curves are 24 and 28, I think.
Yeah, and see that 24 is too tight for what I'm doing. I'm using a minimum of 28.
Yes.
And so for like me and Dave, the Atlas one works perfect because it's a 28 and a 30.
But then Walters has the bigger one too, a 24 and a 28.
Jason, do you use code 100 or code 83?
I use a mix actually. It just depends on where it's located. Unfortunately, if you buy any of the Walter stuff, it's all code 83.
Yes, it is.
So
and they're decent switches. They're well made.
Roku?
Try this brand, Roku. Right?
What is it?
It's just the biggest radiuses they got for the curves. They got
what is
another
it,
Roku, yeah.
Okay.
They're not cheap. Yeah.
None of them are.
They're not cheap here, but
this thing is huge.
This one is huge for what I want.
Well, that stuff is huge.
Yeah, but you got this is the biggest one that they have in their range. They do have smaller ones, and that's code 100.
One thing I do like about Atlas on their frog on the curve, they put a little bitty clip right there on the side. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. There we go. Maybe if I get that in my beard.
Same as the Walters.
Yeah.
Well, this Atlas curve, this is
this is the Walters new number 5.
This thing's like 15 and a half, almost 16 inches.
Yeah, it's
like 15
it takes
and a
up
half
some real
inches.
estate. But like I said, the nice thing about the Atlas one is if you're in the middle, and you could do the same thing with Roku or the Shinohara ones. If you're already in the middle of a curve and you need to split off in the curve, those curve turnouts work so much better. I've seen a lot of people, and this is just a personal pet peeve of mine. It's not judging anybody else's layout per se, but I was told that you never put a regular turnout in a curve and use the diverging for your main line. And that's because when you got railroad traffic, they put there's more tension on the throw bars in the diverging than it is the straight. Yeah. So the turnout wears out faster when trains continuously go through the turn or through the diverging track than the straight track.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can see that.
And that's due to just inertia. And so the real railroads don't do that. And so that's kind of one of the pet peeves I have is I will not use a straight turnout and use the diverging for a curve on a main line. Now, a yard or an industrial area, that's different because you're going at a slow speed.
Yeah. Well, you also got to think, too, of space you have for layout, too. You have to make adjustments for the layout.
Back in a minute, Dave.
That's my space is limit. I have 9 feet.
I'm only going. I've just got to go down a minute, and I just need to go. I'll be back in a minute.
7 feet. So I'm very tight for space. I was forced to go. That would work in the area I had.
Right. No, and that's totally understandable because, like, you know, with me, I've got that double crossover just to the left side of the town that I'm putting in. And theoretically, in the rural area, they wouldn't have a double crossover. They would have 2 pairs of singles.
Right.
And that's so that way the railroad wouldn't have to maintain that diamond in the middle. So, but I don't have the space for 2 singles. So, yeah, I slept in a double just, you know, to improve operations.
That's right.
I could have got away with 1 single, but, you know, it's just going to make it to where the dispatcher's going to have a harder time.
See, my original plan was use a double crossover, but Walters was too slow on getting him into production. So I ended up going with 4 number 6s to give me I call my double crossover, and it works out pretty good.
And then
And another one is like you typically don't see single slips, double slips, three ways out in rural areas as well. But those are great when you have either two turnouts stacked, like the left hand stacked with the right hand, slapping the three-way to conserve space. And then, the double slips and single slips is basically the same thing as two left-hand or two right-hand turnouts that are throat to throat.
Right.
Yeah.
So
and they look cool too. Man. Hey, Pappy's asking, why would you have a non-powered frog?
I'm doing it for simplicity of the layout, for one thing.
Yeah, I just makes it easier for the wiring.
Yeah.
Especially with DCC and whatnot, I just find the insulated frogs is just a lot easier to do the wiring underneath it. Straightforward and simple. Positive, positive, negative, negative. You don't have to worry about now which track do I need to isolate? How do I going to have to do switching for the polarity on the frog?
Most of the new locals have double pickups, so you're not going to lose power as you cross it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so here's another thing. If you got the newer 6-axle locomotives where actually all 6 wheels are pickups.
Yes.
If that's all you're running, you really don't need to power frogs. It's mainly when you're running shorter axles like switchers.
I have lots of those.
Because when you think about it, when a locomotive dies on a turnout, where's the locomotive located? One truck is on the frog, the other truck's on the points.
Yes.
So when you think about it, that is the only place that a switcher will lose its power. And if you got a bigger turnout, the frogs are bigger.
Yeah.
I mean, look at a frog on a number 8, and that's great for yard usage.
Well, I might power the frogs for my yard, because my yard is going to be in the mechanical room of the basement, so access is harder. So I'm going to try and make that more controllable on one side.
Yeah.
I'm either going to use the repeatable magnetic decouplers, so I can decouple a train at both ends and pull it out. I have a bridge, and I'm going to be standing on one side of the bridge, so I want to be able to function the yard on that side of the bridge. So.
Yeah,
I thought about using those. I don't know if I'm going to or not. You talking about the little magnet things you put underneath the track?
Yeah. But the repeater they're electrical. You just you hit a switch if you want to engage them. They're easy to install. So that's
and they're round too, which is real nice.
Yeah, they're an 1 3/8 hole. You can drill a hole from the bottom, shove them up in the hole. It comes 2 clamps. They pre-wired. You're good. You're done. Instead of using the KD magnet.
Yeah. See, I had a whole bunch of the KD ones given to me. So.
Well, if you use what you got, right?
Right.
You save money where you can.
I have a couple I'm going to try.
Yeah. So this is where you guys got the advantage.
That's the thing I was looking for. I was talking about earlier.
That one don't look too bad. Yeah.
No, it's just a little handheld one, but I thought it was like the one you were showing me earlier. I looked forever for this damn thing the other day.
I've got a green-handed one of these, and I just can't find it, so I've gone out and bought one. Hoping the green one will come out. Yeah.
Network crimpers.
Yeah.
I've got 4 or 5 pair around here somewhere.
That's the only pair I had, but I thought it was more like the one I already had with the long handles, and I forgot I bought this one.
I have the Pro version, and it's very handy.
Yeah, it does a job.
But you guys got an advantage over us here in Australia. Like you go in a hobby store in US, you got a good range of tracks you can buy in general. Like when I'm in South Carolina, my nearest hobby shop will be I think it's Blue Ridge Hobbies they call themselves. I can get the Pico track, I can get the Walthers track, I can get the Atlas track or the Shinanara track. Over here, the most common branded track is the Pico. Doesn't matter where you go, you got the Pico track.
Aren't they made over there in like England or something? Aren't they?
They're made in England.
European thing.
Yeah.
I love them, man. I love them. I love the fact that they snap, and you don't have to mess with it if you don't want to. Put them on a tortoise or something. You don't have to mess with it if you don't want to, and they stay and they hold their form.
But I will tell you this: when it does come to Pico, they're great if you're using ground throws because of the springs that hold them in.
Yeah.
But a tortoise will not throw it with the spring in there. You have to take the spring out.
Remove it.
Oh yes, you got to take the spring out.
That is kind of a downside. Like if you ever wanted to go back, it'd be a hell. First of all, you got to find where you put the springs, but to put them back in would be a hell of a thing to do.
You don't worry about it. But see what I've done with the only thing I've done with the Pico track, I actually went with a tortoise mode. I went to a thicker wire and added just a little bit more tension to it, and it does actually manage to throw it over. You do actually hear the click, but it puts a lot of strain on the motor.
Yeah.
So it's easy just to pull that little clip out. The clips of the new ones are just get your rail nippers and just nip it, and it'll come out.
Well, and Dave, the other thing is the spring's not like a spring that you see in a Katy coupler. It's like a V. It's like just a V, piece of metal shaped in the letter V. So
yeah, so I've had to actually take that little plate off and then pop the spring out. I don't know. I guess you could probably just cut the spring.
You can
put it in there.
Yes. I think my three-way, you access the springs from the top, and then the slips you access it from the bottom. So
you can get the Pico ones. You can get from both sides.
All right. See you, Lee.
It depends on it all depends on how old they are. The new ones now, you actually got to get to them from underneath. This is one of the new ones. You got to go underneath to get them, right? On the old ones, you can actually get them from the top. In this spot here, right?
See,
it actually.
Like I said, it was only the three-way. I had to do that too.
Yeah, the three-way, you got to get it from the top. Yeah, three-way, you get it from the top. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
right. I got some of both like that. One has
and that's the old ones. That's how the old ones of these were. The same as what the three-way is there.
Well, like I said, my slips, it was actually a bigger spring in the bottom.
Yeah.
Right there in the middle. And the nice thing about the slips is you've actually got two holes that you could hook your tortoise up to.
Yeah.
So, it's your pick. Well, guys, I hate to run, but I got to get out of here so that way I can get to work on time. So,
enjoy work, Jason.
Yeah, I know, right?
Jason, I'll hit you up on those slips when I get them.
I got to cut grass, though.
But just be aware, there's two different sizes, double slips and Pico. The new ones and the old ones are two different sizes. They're probably about.
I've only had mine out for maybe maybe just a year or two.
Yeah, they're the new ones.
I haven't had mine long.
Yeah.
So
but the old ones are more metal up on the top where the frogs and that are. It's more metal. So you'll see the difference. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, fun at work.
So I'm gonna go too, Dave.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Y'all have a good one.
I got chores to get done.
All right. Well, we'll see you. Right. We'll see James, Jason. Thanks for stopping in.
All right.
Y'all I'm gonna probably cut out of here soon myself.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Well. Yeah, Wilmer's saying he's got a curved turnout, works great on the main, but when you throw it to the siding, it shorts out. How do I fix that? Do you think
that'd be a live frog? That'd be a live frog. If that's what it's doing, he's actually got a live frog. So the best thing to do to alleviate that problem is what we do at the club. We usually see how we got the two tracks there by the frog. We actually just cut it there and insulate it. But you'll probably you'll find that the power is actually going through the frog. That's where it's actually shorting out. So what
So
you
would you
need
put
to
like
do
an
is,
insulated? Would you put an insulated joiner on the two middles there?
yeah, if you're
With the
laying it
plastic
down,
joiners?
yeah, you put plastic joiners in there if you could.
Yeah. You get that,
And that's what
woman?
you'll have.
Give that a try. See if that works.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I was thinking that would be a solution, but yeah.
yeah. That's what it'll be. That I had the problem with
Now,
the.
now he would have to drop feeders on both sides of that then, wouldn't he? Like down the line, like after the frog or after the joiner.
Yeah, yeah. Well, after the cut, yeah, he will have to drop the feeder unless it's got power coming in from somewhere else already,
Oh, that's
which
true.
most
Maybe
probably
coming from
wouldn't.
the other direction. Yeah, might be
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. If it hasn't,
Uh,
then he's going to have to drop the feeder into the bus. Yeah.
yeah.
That's what I found out with. I had to get two live frog switches on my layout here, and it's going to be a learning curve because I never worked with live frogs, and it was shorting out. I thought I had everything isolated properly, but I didn't, and it was shorting out. So all I'd done was where the track is. They came up into, I think it was that track there, that line there. I actually cut it, and it solved my short problem. But the only problem I've actually found out now on other parts of my layout is with my block detection. When I thought I insulated the right tracks, I didn't insulate them all. So now I'm getting false readings on the block detection. On the AIU modulator that they got from me, NCE,
Yeah.
where you put the block detector.
Yeah.
There's other blocks that are actually being activated because they're all joined together with the fish plate. So I've got to go and redo my blocks and isolate the tracks that I need to.
Yeah.
And most of it's at where the switches are, but I'm glad that I've actually dropped these feeders underneath. Like when you do a ladder, I can actually go, right, I can individually power each switch, even if I do isolate the power at the ends.
Gotcha.
If you get what I mean. I just find them easy to work with. I mean, yeah, you get a lot of water drop feeds underneath, but I mean, we do watch a lot. They're what's easiest. Yeah.
Well, Pappy, you're N scale, right, Pappy?
Yeah.
I don't know. Does Cato make anything really for HO? Do they make HO scale?
They're starting to. They are starting to. They got the profile track like what Bachman's got and Author's got, the ballister tracks and whatnot. They are doing it now. It hasn't been that long on the market. I haven't seen them in Australia yet, but I have seen in the Train World's website in the US. Yeah. But they got a bigger radius than what Pico have in their set track set up for the HO.
Yeah.
But there's no one in Australia selling. If I want to buy that, I've got to get it direct from the US. But at the moment, I've got enough to get me out of trouble for when I expand. Like I managed to find the big curve that's going to go into my passenger station for my passenger trains. Of course, they need a bigger radius. That's why I got this one for. Not supposed to have it on curves, as Jason said, but I'm leaving this. Yeah, by Anthony. But I'm restricted to space, so I've got to do what I can in the small space that I've got.
Yeah. Well, I'd love to have larger radiuses on this layout, but to get the things I wanted, I was okay with staying with the 28-inch. I mean, I think that's a good size. Some of the longer cars still look a little funny on it, like I'd rather go on 30 or 32. But I really, to get what I want, I didn't really have the space to do that without sacrificing like the peninsula, stuff like that. So I'm fine with it.
We'll see at the club.
You don't run about anything.
See, like at my club, we work on a 28. I think 28 is our smallest mainline radius too.
Yeah.
And
I
our
have
exhibition shows.
not a big power, so I mean, I run, modern day, so everything's big, the power's big. Six
Yeah.
axle, but I don't know. I'm happy with it. So far, so good.
My smallest radius, I think it's going to be 21 or 22 inches is going to be my smallest radius on my layout. On the main line. It's only because I'm not going to have what's the maximum? I think it's 20. It's going to be 26. It's going to be my maximum radius I can go to. I can't go any bigger because then I've got no room. I'm out of space.
Yeah. 26 isn't bad either.
No.
26 is pretty good. It'll run about anything on a 26. Just it would look like your longer cars will just look a little funny when they go around it. You know what I mean? Compared to a larger radius, but I mean they'll handle it. They should handle it no problem. Like your passenger cars and stuff.
Yeah, we're seeing our main. See, if I go by my area where I live in here, we got a lot of tight radiuses around here anyway on the main line.
Yeah.
Between here and Sydney. Okay, some parts we've actually made them a little bit bigger, but you can only go so far on underneath the overhead power lines. You see.
Yeah.
All our lines are electrified. Though where it's not being electrified, we actually made the radiuses bigger, or just take the S curves out and just make a straight line. No, I don't mind. I mean, it's going to give me train operation. Switching's okay, but I'm very restricted to space, as you can see, even with the challenges. I mean, I've got to get creative to make a good length train. And yeah, it's nice to have big engines, but big engines they like to run.
Yeah. I mean, you should just have to move to South Carolina and buy yourself a big basement and put a house on top of it.
Oh man, I'm dying to get over there. I've got to.
I think the next house I'm going to buy the basement and then build above it.
I've got the plans here. I've already got the plans ready. I've got the timber. I've got the lumber and everything that's sitting there in South Carolina. It's ready to go. I just got to get there.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to do all the earth moving and whatnot. I mean, I'm going to have a nice big basement for the layout. But I just got to get over there and sort out all the paperwork.
What's your time frame on that? As far as what was your time frame as far as when you wanted to get out here?
I should be there now, but this COVID's throwing the spanner in the works for me. I should be there now.
Oh, you can't get out? Can't move?
I can't move. And now they're saying we can actually get out maybe at the end of November, December, we'd be able to go to the United States. So, but you can't dig up there in December because the ground's frozen.
Where you going, South Carolina?
Well, I mean, in the upper state. I mean, it does get very cold and snow up there still.
Yeah. Yeah, but like where I'm at in Cleveland now, we get the ground freeze. But either way,
But I got to just sort out all the paperwork. That's all gone messy at the moment. So I've got to sort all that out before I can actually start digging. So
yeah. We'll see you, Crazy Joe. Good luck again with the fitting today.
Yeah.
Whenever that is, I think you said it was today or soon.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll probably get over there. Okay, I've got issues with my little rabbit here, my pet rabbit at home. She's not my kid at the moment. She's got cancer.
Oh,
so I'm just gonna hang. Yeah, she's got kidney cancer, unoperable. And she's been there for me when I had dramas. And when I had my accident and whatnot with my wreck. So I'm just hanging in here for her, and I think she'll be gone after Christmas. But after Christmas, I'm going over there and just start prepping everything over there so I can move over there and
maybe by spring you can break ground or something.
yeah.
Things thaw out a little bit. But one thing would be too frozen in South Carolina, but I don't know. I don't live there, so it could freeze more than I think it does, you know.
Well, it was cold there the other year. Last year they had a fair bit of snow there and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's pick of the
draw. If you're in the northern state closer to the North Carolina, I know they get some snow and that in the mountains. Nothing like we get here, but you get some seasonal changes over there.
Yeah, well, we border up with Tennessee and North Carolina and whatnot. I'm up at the upstate, right up in the top corner.
Yeah.
If you have a look, it's up to Spartanburg, Asheville.
Okay. That's a nice area.
Oh, it's a beautiful area. It's on the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains, and where is it from there to Ohio? What is it about? 13-hour drive or something like that to Cleveland? 14-hour drive?
I think it's for me to go to like Myrtle Beach in South Carolina. I think it was like a 9-hour drive. So I don't know where.
That's not far.
So it's just not terrible.
Yeah, and you got better roads. You got better roads and interstates over there than what we got here.
Most everything's accessible through the interstate system, so not bad. So
it's a nice
drive. A lot closer than Australia is. You know, but listen, I think I'm going to head out of here. I got some things to do today too. I think it was a good show. I missed it last week, man. I hated not to do it, but
health comes first. Your health comes first. I mean, if you don't feel right, you don't feel right. I mean, the show can always wait, but as long as you're okay and whatnot, you just got to look after yourself. I mean, some people take them.
Feeling better. So, but thanks for stopping in. It's always good talking to you guys.
You're welcome. Yeah, you can come and join my coffee shows on a Sunday morning if you feel like it. But it's too bright and early for you.
What time is that? Maybe in the middle of the night for me.
About 5, 6 o'clock in the morning your time.
Oh, Sunday.
On a Sunday. On a Sunday, yeah.
I have to remember that, because I try.
Yeah, because I start roughly about 5 o'clock your time in the morning, and normally we go up to about 8, 9, 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
So, and not many.
I've been trying to keep this around an hour and a half. Just because. I'll definitely try to catch that because for some reason I didn't realize you were on that time in the morning. I'm usually up by like 6-ish,
Yeah. I mean, there are some early birds. So you get in your body clock in that time. Like if you're doing day shift all the time, you get that body clock. You still manage to get up, even though you want to have a sleep, and you still manage to get up that time in the morning. So, and it's like just after tea time here, so just right. Everyone's settling down. There's not much on the giggle box, so I might as well do something on a Sunday night.
Yeah.
So it's nice chatting with you anyway.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'll have the wiring sorted out by the weekend and I can start working on my switching panel.
Yeah. Hey, if you think of it and you wanted to do, I wouldn't be against watching it, like a how-to video on how you wire up those LEDs and all that stuff. When you actually put it all together and wire up a tortoise or whatever you're using.
If I haven't done it, I'll tell you, Rick Bailey, the tree.
Yeah.
He's actually got a good tutorial on how he's done his panel.
Oh, does he?
And I'm going down the similar path as what he has.
Okay.
So have a look on his channel.
Yeah.
I think he done it last year or year before. He's actually done a little mini panel. Yeah. Right. And also quick description on how he worked on the NCE's mini panel. This thing.
So what do they use the mini panel for? I mean, what is it like?
It's basically
there's so many different things that they have. I don't know what the heck I need to buy.
Okay, this thing here is basically another one of these.
What a Pro Cab?
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, You can control your switches out of this. You can control your macros out of this. You can have automatic train running automatically with this. Yeah. It's basically
Actually,
yeah. You can do a lot of things with this. I'm still learning with it, but yeah, it's a handy little gadget to have, especially if you want to have push button turnouts, like with the ladder and everything else.
yeah.
Right? You need one of these. Makes it
You
easier.
got the menu panel, you got the Switch 8, you got button boards. I mean, I don't know what the hell it's all for.
Yeah, then you got the AIU.
Yeah, so I have one of those. That's for block detection, right?
Yeah.
You want to get BD20s into that?
Yeah, because I couldn't get
BD20s. I'm starting to pick up a few of those.
Yeah, I got to get some more. I can only get them from the US. I got this in Sydney, being told that I can use I can switch the tortoise motors with this, and I can also do the BD20s on it.
Yeah.
But no, you can't. It won't let me switch the tortoise motors on it.
So what do you need for that? The MK8 or Switch 8 or whatever it's called?
The Switch 8. Right.
So what do you run them all through that? Like you have the tortoise?
Yeah, this will control your Switch 8. You can have everything pre-programmed through this.
Switch 8 hooks into that.
Through your bus. Switch 8 goes through your bus. This hooks up to your bus. Have a look on the Rick's channel. He'll explain it better.
All right. I'll go look at that later today when I get done doing my chores.
All you poor guys that have got partners and wives that got to do errands for the wives to keep them happy.
Yeah, I know. Well, there's some perks to that too, though.
Yeah, I'm just making up the most of it while I'm still single.
Yeah. Well, she don't bother me too much. Like, she works from home, so I'm off on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then on the weekends. So on Tuesday and Thursday, I try to do as much down here if I'm going to play with this down in the train room, because she's working anyways. Now on the weekends, it gets a little more, I've got to share the time a little bit more, which is fine. So
she knows where you are half the time anyway. You're downstairs.
Yeah, I'm down here playing one of my trains.
Yeah.
So, but the nice thing with that is I can also run a lot of my errands and things I need to do during the week, doctor's appointments and dentists and all that. Just stuff like that. I can get it done on weekdays and not have to worry about it on the weekend. So it just frees up the time on the weekend to do other things, which is nice.
Yeah. I'm just trying to get as much as I can now because I'm going to court 27th. In regards to getting an operation done on my right hand, or once I get the operation done on my right hand, I won't be able to do any modelling for a good 3 months. So
yeah,
I want to do what I can here
now.
But
you can still hold the controller to play with them, or run them.
Oh, with this one here, with the left hand one I can, but
you just can't do any building.
Can't do any physical work, no.
Yeah.
And then I've got 3-4 months to recover for this hand, and I've got to go and do that W thing myself. And I won't be on here much. So, yeah. Got to do a bit of that W stuff so I can get over the United States, because it's going to be expensive doing most probably 3 trips to the US next year. So,
man, try to get that house just eventually to move all your stuff over there is going to cost a fortune. You got to put it in a container and put it on a ship, probably, no?
No, I'm gonna fly it over.
Oh, you can fly it?
Yeah, I'm gonna fly it over. It's going to cost me. Well, it was going to cost me $2,500 more to send it by plane than what is by ship.
Yeah, you get it quicker by plane, though.
Yeah. Yeah, because it will go from here. I can drop it off here at Sydney Airport, or have them pick it up at my place, the airline container pre-packed, and they put on FedEx or UPS. Well, I'll probably be going UPS.
Yeah.
And they got flights going into Spartanburg, and They'll just drop the container off there for me to unpack. So I've already done my homework. I can't buy any more trains because it's going to go exceed the space in the container. So that's it. No more trains now for a while. Until I get over there. So so you can say I'm ready to go, but I just got to finish up the things on the other side, and I've got to work out what the new immigration rules are now to get over there because new president and whatnot, and got to go through that red tape. And yeah, so we're just going to have to we're going to have to wait and see. That's a big thing at the moment. That's a big thing. Just trying to get through that red tape. I was this close.
Yeah.
I was this close.
And all this stuff hit.
No. Well, it wasn't even that. It was the big fight. But I don't really want to get too much into politics. But when there was a big fight between Trump and Pelosi and the Democrats, everything just went.
Yeah.
It stopped a lot of it. The only way I could get over there was they moved the goalpost too far, so to speak. I had to find someone to get married with over there, and I had no intentions of marrying with anyone there. And that's the only way I was able to get there. No, they wouldn't accept any companies to sponsor me over there, which there was a company that was willing to sponsor me in Greenville, South Carolina, because I worked with them here in Australia. They work in the steel mill here. They were willing to put me on, but no, not going to happen. So that part's back to the drawing board. Well, anyway, I'm going to let you go because we've been saying goodbye for the last 15 minutes. You need to get going. And
yeah. Okay. Well, I'll catch you next week. I'll try to catch you Sunday. You gonna be on this Sunday?
Yeah, I'll be on this Sunday. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And I'm gonna go catch the Sunday too. I'm gonna go watch that.
Yeah.
Today sometime. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. I'll talk to you later, man.
You stay safe.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks for stopping in.
Bye, everybody.
All right.